Hello everyone, I am Geo as you would expect, and I've decided that I wanted to do or revisit a kind of video format I did previously, and that is my custom MOC LEGO Hogwarts series. I originally made my first entry back in, I think it was probably 2018, after I got the Great Hall set and I made my little own spin or variation on it, but I've decided I wanted to kind of revisit that. I've gotten with my interests very on and off. If you've seen the channel, there's a whole bunch of stuff. There's no consistency of what I want to do, which is what I like. But I've decided, I built this and I wanted to show it off. So we're bringing back the Hogwarts MOC series. As you can see, this is the part of the castle where we have the Astronomy Tower. And this building, which has been dubbed the Viaduct entrance hall. Watch out for the Viaduct. It's dangerous. Hopefully you get that reference. These have both been officially released by LEGO. This kind of building formation, this a bit smaller and that shorter, were included in the Hogwarts Astronomy Tower set, which was released in 2020. And I did cover and I do a review on it. You should check that out. One of my finer works. But unfortunately, I was very disappointed, as I mentioned in the review, by the size of the entrance hall that was included. So I decided I'm just going to make my own. This was not planned in any capacity. This was simply, I had two Whomping Willow sets. One which I purchased off Facebook Marketplace for a heavily discounted price because it was used. And the second which I purchased from the LEGO website for the Monster Book of Monster promotions. I wanted to get a second one for a friend, so I just got that. And I decided, well, once these two sets are combined with, again, with some pieces from the Astronomy Tower, I have the correct parts to make something larger. So, and this was born. Now, if you've been following, if you've seen my work, I do post to some LEGO groups. This did start with two other variations. There was a much smaller one, and then there was one quite similar to this design, although it was missing two of these pillars. So I was inspired by another LEGO YouTuber that's known as Duncan Lego Brick. I hope I'm not butchering that. I apologize in advance if you do end up watching this video. And I decided to, improve on what I've previously done. I hadn't touched this MOC for a couple of months, but as you can see, to kind of talk about this, it's not as wide as it should be. There should be a couple more pillars on the sides coming off here, and there should be windows coming out of the two towers, the left and right. But unfortunately, I've kind of did it to the best of my abilities. What I did was the Whomping Willow set has, the original one, you get, I'd say, around 6. I'm not actually sure the exact number. I'm going to have to correct myself. But you get a lot of these kind of corner pieces. So I think I used every one in the set to create these 4. And then on the side, there's ones that kind of complete these towers. All of the windows were taken from the Whomping Willow set as well, except these square ones. Those were taken from the actual Astronomy Tower entrance hall. And as you can see, I've tried to kind of keep it aesthetically close to the Harry Potter sets as possible. I have the kind of nougat orange bricks speckled around the build. I will say I think I used it a bit too much, because if we look more in the build, it's there's definitely less than on the front. I did, of course, the format of having these kind of pillars sticking out of the way the building's kind of designed. And I think that turned out lovely. If you've seen the build, on the top of the builds, there's supposed to kind of be an arch, kind of similar to this. There are some perfect pieces to do this with. Unfortunately, I don't have any at my disposal. So unless I do an order from the Bricks and Pieces store soon, I won't be able to fix those up. This portion here with the circular window was taken straight off the set. I literally clapped it off and put it there. And the same with the roof, which we'll talk about in a bit. Before I turn it, you might have already seen it, but I think this is the perfect emphasis of it. Only looks really good from the front, and we'll see exactly why once we turn it over. So I've kind of already gotten the view, but it's going to look worse. So there it is. I had to take a lot of liberties in building this on the actual building, but not in the set. The building curves off, and then it's also slanted to the side. I don't have the resources to do that. I would like to do that, and if it was up to me, this would all be those kind of slope pieces and not a hinged brick on the side, but I do not. This is really the best I can do. I've got it connected so it kind of hangs off the sides. There's a big open space between there, so I have to do something about that. But that is the way that's designed. These, I believe these are the turrets. I'm not too good on the castle lingo, but the turrets were constructed with these arch pieces, or these corner pieces, and then I just have some 1x2s and some colored tubes, or I don't know the exact name for these guys, but these transparent kind of basins. You know, they're used for potions, but as kind of clever. We got yellow for Hufflepuff, green for Slytherin, red for Gryffindor, and blue for Ravenclaw. I'd like to think that's a little clever use of the parts on my end. But as you can see, they're both empty in an ideal world. And if I had, I have more of these, but I don't have a lot of these cone pieces. If I had more, they would be curved and closed off, but obviously I don't. On the side here, got some more of the kind of nougat color thing going on here, and we've got some more there. We don't have any going on here, which is what I was meaning. And we just have a single window, which I'm not a fan of how that looks. If you've seen the actual castle, you'll know that there's just a giant window coming off the side. That's kind of what I was trying to do, but you kind of need one of those square windows like that if you want that kind of look. So obviously I ran out of those square windows, unfortunately, but if this gets enough traction, I will maybe do an order and we might get some more, who knows. But that's the side. Before I show you the inside, it's basically almost the exact same kind of deal going on. These turrets are based off the ones that are seen on the front of the smaller version of the Viaduct entrance. As you can see, I've just taken a bunch of these kind of curved pieces and built them up, which I actually really like the way that turned out. Again, not perfect, but I think it actually suits the build pretty well. I think the biggest problem is the roof. I feel like if I actually got the roof slanted and built properly, it would look pretty good. I'm going to try to design something that I can actually work to actually have these all work, because if you've seen the real build or the real castle, this turret is filled, and then this is just flat until you get to the other kind of tower, and of course, as I mentioned before, with the roof. So I need to try to get some kind of thing built to get that to work. I think I can do it. Again, I need the right parts, but this is mostly just using spares and the Whomping Willow parts and the parts of the entrance hall from the original Astronomy Tower set. But if we go inside, this is actually, I'm very impressed of how this turned out. I'm very pleased of how, I guess, kind of aesthetically pleasing it is. We've got the door from, this is actually from the Room of Requirement, but that just goes in there. We have the original chandelier piece from Astronomy Tower, which I loved how it looked, so I decided to put it back in. The turret on the side here has some stickers. We've got the Gryffindor flag there, and we've just got some portraits, exactly the same as the set, and there's some more portraits, and I think those two are empty, so nothing to see there. I'm actually very pleased with the inside. I think it looks really nice. It's nice, big, roomy area. I think if you got some plates around here, it'd be nice to put some students or something, maybe put one of these inside, because I have a ton of them. But the inside of this, I love the pillars. I needed something to put to, because the only way for this piece here, for the turrets, the only way I can get them to the proper height is I had to use these rounded pieces. So these are all halves, but then I have these rounded ones, and I have one at the base, and that was the only way I can get it to the proper height. So I thought, okay, I need to put something here. So I got these support pieces, which are from the Whomping Willow set, inside some of the buildings, and I put them in, and it looks, well, it looks aesthetically pleasing, if you ask me. And I think that turned out very, very nice. And the roof is, again, the worst part. You've got them stemming off from here. It goes up there. It holds, which I think that's what everyone wants, but this top part just, yeah, it's not good. I think the roof is where it falls apart. Well, it doesn't fall apart, but it just looks the worst. But, you know, it was a learning curve, doing what I could with my parts. But we'll make something new sometime. So we'll just push this to the side, and before this video ends, we're already at 11 minutes in, which is too long for me. I just want to take a look at the Astronomy Tower, which, like most YouTube users say, they can't get it in one shot. But there it is. You may notice mine is taller, which is, I just had some pieces laying around. You can see how ugly that inside is, so I just made this extra floor in here. That's not in the original build. I just grabbed some pieces and thought that'll fit, and it fit. So I did that. And Slughorn's office, if you will notice, has an extra layer of bricks. I just did that, and just so it would be equal, I got, and would look better, I used these kind of corner pieces. Well, it doesn't look that good, and extended the kind of cylinder coming down. Everything else is the same. You've got the dormitories for Ravenclaw. You've got the astronomy room, which it's pretty okay. My opinions have kind of changed since the review I've done. Maybe you should watch that first. Shouldn't be saying that so late in the video, but that is that. As a way to round it off, I'm happy with how it turned out. There's flaws, as mentioned before, but you know, I'm proud of it. I think it definitely came better than the original ideas I've had planned for it, and I'm very proud of how it turned out. Hopefully, my goal is to make as stupid as this sounds, to make a paper mache base for my Hogwarts rather than actually building a rock face. I'm really excited to get that project off the ground. So yeah, that is the Viaduct entrance hall and the Astronomy Tower. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Hopefully more Harry Potter content coming in future. I have the Lego Potter podcast, which I do with my good friend of mine, Instagram user ProLego Maxima. Go follow him. We do that. We're having a new episode probably coming out in a couple of weeks, so stay tuned for that. This has been the Astronomy Tower and the entrance hall. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.